You're running us over, you're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ballistic Gist. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload videos, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's get into today's stages of videos.
You're running us over, you're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin. All because we have culture, we brought it here, and we are who we are, and we love it here, and we help people here. That's what we're known for. We help people, and yet we're getting terrorized. We're going through this. Our families are being our babies are literally being ripped from our hands. If someone could please tell me if there's something we can do if there's something we could do to help our people, please just imagine yourself in our situation. Imagine your people are being terrorized. They're being ran over. If you literally cannot have empathy for someone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an evil ass human being, and you need help, and you need God. You have no heart, and hell, there's a special place in hell for you. Karma is real, and God will take care of them. This is so heartbreaking. I don't know what we could do to help. I feel so helpless. I just want to help with something. I just want this to end. I just want there to be peace like there was peace. I just want that. That's all I want for us.
You love it here, but yet you're burning the American flag and waving the Mexican flag. If you love it here so much, burn the Mexican flag and wave the American flag. You love it here so much. Los Angeles is literally going up in fucking flames, and the people that are trying to protect everybody from the gangs to drugs to everything else is literally being threatened. Your babies are being ripped out of your hand. Well, maybe, the 14th Amendment says you're protected as long as you were born here and your parents came here legally. But you love it here so much, you want to burn down towns and burn flags and threaten people that protect you. But yet you love it here.
You're running us over, you're shooting us, all because of the color of our skin.
Wrong. The problem they're having right now is people that came here illegally. If you're here legally, you have nothing to worry about. If you're here illegally, you're going to go. Now, if you want to start throwing rocks, Molotov cocktails, nobody's going to feel sorry for your little alligator tears. Because the people that are getting shot, which I haven't heard of any, so I don't even know how much fact there is in that, period. If somebody gets shot, there's a reason for it. It's not the color of your fucking skin. The race card is bullshit. Accept responsibility for their own fuck-ups. That's all they have to do.
Nobody cries about that, right? I mean, Lord and Savior and God and Master Biden and his hooker from the Booker, Kamala, decided to basically gut North Carolina because those people would not give them their land. So they footed their ass out like the end of the fucking movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You guys weren't complaining then. You weren't saying a fucking word. Them people lost everything. And they wanted to give them a loan. A $750 fucking loan. And in the small print, they didn't pay it back within a year when they didn't have shit to pay it back with. Of course, you know, your masters didn't care, but nobody cared. Nobody cried then. Oh, of course not. Nobody cried then. Nobody cried when Obama did the same fucking thing. Obama deported way more people than Trump did, but nobody gave a fuck because he was a daddy Democrat. You guys love your daddy Democrats. You don't complain when daddy Democrats do anything, but let a Republican come in and actually get rid of the bad guys. You know, maybe if the Democratic dumpster fire cities and states would have stopped having those commercials of giving everybody $1,000 for turning over anybody or turning in anybody who was Latina at every end of every fucking newscast, maybe everything wouldn't be so crazy. But if you're in California, honey, you get what you voted for. You guys continue to stay in a state that doesn't give a shit about you to deal with Newsom, who we haven't even heard from since Trump became president. Nancy Pelosi's nephew, the same bitch that makes $220 million net worth when only making $100 and something thousand a year. Talk about term limits. Talk about life term limits. But nobody said shit when they gutted the people of North Carolina and decided to freeze them out. They weren't able to stay in the tiny houses that the Amish made. They weren't able to get their shit fixed because your daddy Democrats were sitting there and a man actually used his private helicopter and his private plane to rescue an elderly couple off of a cliff. He had to leave the husband or the wife on the cliff to die because your daddy Democrats told them that if he didn't leave, they would shoot him out of the sky. But nobody cried then. There was nothing to cry about then because Daddy handout Democrats were in office. Daddy handout Democrats. Daddy handout Democrats. Daddy handout Democrats. They're going to save us. They're going to help us. They're going to do everything for us. Was it worth it? $54 million taken from FEMA. And now we have all these earthquakes, all these tornadoes, and all these creations of smart cities. Thanks to Daddy handout Democrats. But nobody complained when Daddy Gay Obama did it. Oh no, because that's Master. You can't say anything about Master. Obama and Biden are gods. Obama let 11 million criminals into our country. And I'm not saying all Latinos are criminals because I know they're not all criminals. They're pretty awesome fucking people. And I don't have anything against them. But why should they get $5,000 in food stamps? And yeah, my coworker said that that's what they got coming from El Salvador. But her and her husband used a brain that they were given and decided to get their papers so they could stay. Nobody owes anybody a fucking thing in this world. My ancestors came over here from Europe and built their own shit and didn't use the government to get any of it because the government wasn't around in the 1800s. Especially for a whole bunch of immigrants from Europe, Polish and German. Oh, please. But nobody complains when it's everybody else. Only when somebody is a trend to complain. But the people in North Carolina had to live in a tent that was nothing but a sheet and a stick. And if they didn't fucking live in it, they would have left off their fucking kids. Because of your goddamn daddy Democrats. Because Kamala, the hooker in charge, needed to make sure that the lithium and gold permits were signed for her master man. Even though, you know, she's a man too, but that's another video. Nobody complained then. Nobody complained when they flooded out fucking Tennessee, when they flooded out Atlanta, when they flooded out North Carolina. Nobody said shit because it didn't affect them. I mean, if you're living in California, you get what the fuck you voted for. Newsom doesn't give a shit about anything, not even himself. And it's pretty funny that we haven't heard from him since Trump became office. But nobody complained when Obama deported way more people than Trump did. Nobody complained when Biden promised he would bring 11 million of them over here. That's why there were no other crimes in any other countries. And you want something to cry? Oh, well, how about Lincoln Riley's family? They thought their daughter was going to be safe at a college. They didn't know one of his criminal fucking parolees were going to go and kill her. Or what about the lady that was either going to work or coming home or maybe just going?
How should I start this video without raising too much attention from TikTok satanic AI? Well, let's just cover what's real history. And I'm just gonna say it for what it is, but this country is, and according to history, is known for numerous genocide, and that's including against people with different skin color, And this, in the United States itself, all this immigration crap, it's just another, it's just another, what do you call it? It's not just a distraction, but it's actually to make people focus on the wrong thing instead of all this. What's gonna get worse is the AI takeover. I actually recently saw a video of Chick-fil-A, as you call it, Chick-fil-A, where recently it's all AI. Nobody's working there except robots. So, but that aside, I just don't see the point for any outsiders, people that have culture, such as the people of the Hispanic, which I have some degree of cultural respect. Which I gotta do a little bit of research on Mexican history itself, because somebody should enlighten me. But I do know that Mr. Trump is actually Elvis Presley, and nobody wants to actually go deeper into the service. So all this stuff about how the stormtroopers are raiding innocent people, innocent immigrants, or some people that have actually overstayed their visa. I understand the legal part, such as trying to crack down people who are not only here illegally, but are doing illegal things and committing crimes and all this stuff. But as for this abduction. Abduction is something that's not new. I mean, kids been abducted for a long time. It's not just Hispanic people. Dogs have been abducted by the Freemasons. Kids have been abducted by the Freemasons. And you know what they do with these bodies? You probably don't want to know. Let's just keep it at that. And another issue is not a lot of people are aware of the occult aspect, so they're spiritually blind. They can't even look. Whenever someone looks at say this is like Pepsi, for example, they don't necessarily see what the logo and the lettering. Like if you actually flip the Pepsi logo or the words itself upside down, like what do you see? 8666. Well, that's the kind of thing. A lot of people are just manipulated, by these Zionist Republicans, these Zionist Christians, Zionist Baptist Freemasons. Yeah, dude, it's just all these corporations worldwide, like the Club of Rome, and all run by the big $500 trillion family Rothschild. It's just all by design, man. I mean, it really sucks that this chick, got her heart broken, and I get it. I'm not gonna be the one of those guys. Hey, you better, wipe those tears off your face. Yeah, it's just people need to understand that we're in the ending times now. Since 2020 has passed, the world has already ended. But yeah, so hang in there and try to, I would suggest you educate yourself on who these criminal organizations, or I should call them the criminal Zionist organizations. There's just so many, dude. There's at least dozens who are invested into these. I'm going to call it legal crime, because nobody's actually doing anything about it, and people are just kind of standing there, and just not really seeing what's really going on. So, well, anyways, that's all I got to say.
Immigrants from Europe, Polish and German. Oh, please. But nobody complains when it's everybody else. Only when somebody is a trend to complain. But the people in North Carolina had to live in a tent that was nothing but a sheet and a stick. And if they didn't fucking live in it, they would have left off their fucking kids. Because of your goddamn daddy Democrats. Because Kamala, the hooker in charge, needed to make sure that the lithium and gold permits were signed for her master man. Even though, she's a man too, but that's another video. Nobody complained then. Nobody complained when they flooded out fucking Tennessee, when they flooded out Atlanta, when they flooded out North Carolina. Nobody said shit because it didn't affect them. I mean, if you're living in California, you get what the fuck you voted for. Newsom doesn't give a shit about anything, not even himself. And it's pretty funny that we haven't heard from him since Trump became office. But nobody complained when Obama deported way more people than Trump did. Nobody complained when Biden promised he would bring 11 million of them over here. That's why there were no other crimes in any other countries. And you want something to cry? Oh, well, how about Lincoln Riley's family? They thought their daughter was going to be safe at a college. They didn't know one of his criminal fucking parolees were going to go and kill her. Or what about the lady that was either going to work or coming home or maybe just going out in the New York subway and decided to take a nap and got set on fire by an ISIS asshole that Trump got rid of but Master Biden brought back? Or the woman whose skull was crushed in the subway by one of the delinquents. Or maybe the 4 little girls that were killed in Texas by another delinquent. Or the people that were pushed out of their homes in fucking Colorado because the landlord took the side of the government instead of his people. What about all them? There was nothing crying and carrying on then. When you vote for Democrats, this is what you vote for. And you know what's crazy? Everybody wants to blame Trump. No, Trump's trying to clean up the mess that Daddy decided to leave because Daddy did no wrong in everybody's eyes. Obama did no wrong. Bush did no wrong. Clinton did no wrong. Biden never did anything wrong except for he was as competent as a 1-year-old trying to get to the toilet. Or a 2-year-old mad he's got to take a nap at a daycare. I mean, it's really selective outrage. Everybody had a chance to go when they had the chance to go on their own. You don't get to come over here and think that the world is entitled to take care of you. You come over here, you build shit up, you earn shit, and you grow. That's what you do. That's what they've been doing since the beginning of time. And Obama built the cages. Biden filled them. Biden sent more children back to countries that they did not belong to. Sent people back to countries they did not belong to. But nobody complained about that because that's Daddy. Biden and Obama were daddy. Obama deported way more people. Obama did way more damage. Biden brought in way more people that were never supposed to be here. Put the United States at risk for domestic terrorism because of all the criminals that he had paroled here. There's a port of entry to use, and there's a port of exit to use. They had a chance to go on their own. They chose not to. They put their kids in these positions because they decided that they were above the law and Daddy Biden was going to come back and save them. Them Democrats don't give a fuck about you. But nobody complains when Obama built the cages. Nobody complains when Biden had them sleeping in silver sleeping bags and sending people back to countries they didn't belong to because he had to pretend he was doing something. The selective outrage is funny. Nobody complained when Obama did it. Nobody complained when Biden did whatever. Nobody complained when Clinton did it. Nobody complained when anybody else does anything. But now all of a sudden it's a problem because Trump is doing it. Boy, you talk about programming is real. Hey, why don't you guys go and find all the children that were probably trafficked or lost in transit, with all the people that Biden sent back and Obama sent back that didn't belong to the countries that they were sent to. Nobody's entitled. We're not going to be enabling. And nothing is free. Obama built the cages. Biden filled them. Biden deported. So did Obama.
This wasn't just another political video. This was a cry from the heart. A Hispanic woman standing in the middle of chaos. ICE agents running through her neighborhood. People being arrested, families being torn apart, children hiding in fear. And in the moment, she broke, not just because of what was happening right in front of her, but because she realized something much deeper, something generational, something painful. We could have listened to the black Americans. Let that sit for a second. We could have listened. We should have listened, but we didn't. For so long, black Americans have been speaking up about the realities of systemic racism, about how the state can become a weapon against your existence, about how it feels to be criminalized just for breathing in your own skin. And too often, people outside that experience dismissed it, looked away, said that is not my fight, or worse, thought that would have never happened to us. Well, now it's happening, and the silence is defending. Ice raids in working class neighborhoods, people getting pulled over for no reason, decal recipients fearing every knock on the door, and worst of all, the realization that some of the very leaders who we are supposed to be on our side, the ones who gave us their word, who smiled on stages and promised hope and progress, are nowhere to be found now that the cameras are gone and the votes are counted. This woman didn't just call out the system, she called out us. She forced us to look at how divided and distracted we have become. She forced us to face the fact that maybe we wasn't paying close and enough attention when the warnings were coming. That maybe, just maybe, black Americans wasn't exaggerating. They were sounding the alarm. And now the fire's at our doorstep. But this isn't just a moment for grief. It's a moment for clarity. Because here's what they don't want us to realize. The system that over police black neighborhoods is now tearing through immigrant families. The same policy that once built prison over schools are now building detention centers over communities. And the same mindset that said they don't belong here is now coming for all of us. This is not just a Democrat versus Republican thing. It's not even about left or right anymore. It's about right versus wrong, truth versus denial, human dignity versus political conveniences. We can't keep doing this, showing outrage only when it hits home. We can't wait until our communities are targets before we speak up, because by then, the damage is already done. We need to unlearn the idea that if it's not about me, it's about us. Because that mindset, that separation is exactly how oppression survives. It isolates us. It tells us, don't worry, they are only going after them. Until suddenly we are the ones on the ground and nobody is left to stand for us. That is why what she said matters. We could have listened to black Americans. Those 7 words carry history, pain, regret, but also wisdom. But because if we start listening now, not just because or understand, but to act, there is still a path forward. We need to build real solidarity, not just performative allyship. That means standing up for every marginalized community, even when it's not convenient. That means calling out injustice, even when it's coming from the people we once voted for. That means showing up not just because when the news cameras are rolling, but when families are hurting in silence. It means owning the fact that progress is not a slogan, it's a fight, one that requires all of us together. Because no one community can do it alone. Black, brown, indigenous, Asian, LGBTQ+, Muslim, immigrants, we are not separate battles. We are chapters in the same story. And the only way we rewrite that story is together. So to that woman, your pain is real. Your voice matters. And even though this moment is heartbreaking, your honesty, your courage might just be the spark that brings us back to something we have lost, our shared humanity. If you made it this far, thank you not just for watching but for feeling. This wasn't an easy video to make, and I know it wasn't easy to watch, but the truth doesn't always come wrapped in comfort. Sometimes it comes in tears, in broken voices, and in raw confessions like the one we just witnessed. If this resonated with you, if you believe in building a better world through unity, through truth, and through action, do me a favor. Like this video so more people see it. Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts, especially if you lived through something similar. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if we are new here, hit subscribe because these conversations matter and we are not stopping. Let's keep this energy going, not just online, but in real life. In how we vote, how we show up, how we listen, and how we stand together. Until next time, stay informed, stay grounded, and stay human. Peace.